Hey, how's it going everyone? Today we're going to cover a method to level up in New World the fastest for you masochists who are hoping to plow through XP come the open beta next weekend. We're going to coin this the route method, and it revolves around the idea of crafting a route with various forms of XP gathering within the settlement to take advantage of time, efficiency, and how settlement ranks work in New World. While I personally don't recommend power leveling during the open beta, unless there are drastic changes that happen to XP before launch, this will also be a great guide for the beginning of launch. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, let's break down the four main mission types. There's the main mission, side quests, faction quests, and town board quests. The main quest is obvious. This is the journey through Aeternum along the main storyline, and I don't want to go into detail on what that is for spoilers, but I assume everyone knows what we mean by main story quest. Side quests are the quests you'll find across the land and from NPCs at the settlement. Faction quests are the quests you can do for your faction, and town board quests are found at the town boards. Typically these are gathering, crafting, and slaying missions. Each of these quests specialize in a certain value: XP, gold, and faction points. The obvious one here is that faction quests specialize in, well, faction points. This being faction points being referred for the points that you gain to rank up within a faction, like Covenant, going from Initiate to Templar, as well as the points to be able to buy items in the faction shop. Side quests specialize in gold, giving the most amount of gold from any quests, but not the best XP. Lastly, the famous mission boards. For those who are new to New World, town mission boards are notorious. At the beginning of the closed beta, players were able to spam these missions to go from min level to max level within a day or two. It was so incredibly atrocious that Amazon Games had to immediately nerf it. When the closed beta ended, it was roughly every 20 to 30 minutes that these boards would refresh. These mission boards will be your bread and butter, and through them you unlock the other two fastest ways to level up in New World for one gigantic method of leveling. These three methods all tie into what I call mapping your XP. Basically, the concept of how this game works with your settlement system is that you can multitask a few different elements together with town board quests and create a route that you can run a few times and level up. It's really easy once you choose the settlement you want to put time into, because as you complete quests in settlements, you can level up your settlement and in return gain more XP in that settlement. To simplify all this, you're going to run three things in a settlement. While doing this, get a ton of XP, which also lets you increase your standing in that settlement, and which in return gives you even more XP. First things first, do mission boards and do the quests you can accomplish the fastest. This typically involves the finding chest boards quests. It's gonna tell you, hey, go to this location and find these chests in this area. And then as you are running around in the settlement, do the gathering quests and get supplies for the crafting quests. Ideally, you can turn these all in before the next round of quests pop up. The mission board quests that have you look for chests, just know that the chest spawns never change in the area, so you can begin to map out paths for the best way to go through it all. This ties into what are the two other methods of leveling up fastest, and why town boards are the most important. The first is crafting. Gathering, refining, and crafting in New World gives a ton of XP. You can tie this in with the mission board quests that have you gather, refine, and craft, and you can really double down on your XP rate through it. As you level up your standing in the settlement, you can also increase the rate of gathering and crafting, which once again ties into this whole method of really buffing up one settlement of your choice. One method I did in these regards was when I was not wanting to grind town board quests, I would spam gathering of iron and wood and whatnot. Then when I was ready for the board quests, I could spam turn them in and progress majorly through my XP bar. It was a great way to level up extremely fast, but also not burn out running the same mob killing route on the quest board. The third and final element of this leveling are faction PvE quests. Do these optionally and lightly. Do not let these take you off your mission board quests. Your job to level up fastest will be those. The faction board you can grab and do on your way, and only if they're reasonably en route. The reason behind this is while they give you a little XP, typically they will be in the same areas or near the areas that mission board quests are. And lastly, you want to get faction tokens to get the higher quality gear from factions that will in return let you clear monsters faster and level up faster. By combining all of these things together, you can easily map through a settlement in New World and be at high levels in no time. So let's put some numbers behind this idea. Let's say every 45 minutes you turn in a round of town board quest. This involves 3 chest ones, 1 gathering, and 1 crafting, which can be very often a light board depending on how you're able to manage it. You did your route, along the way you did 2 faction PvE quests and got some ore to refine on top of that. We'll put you at a level 31 character to keep ratios simple across the board. The chest quest, called Explore and Find, net you a total of 3,810 XP. The gathering missions, you mined some ore and smelted, which gave you some XP, but that mission gives you 1,380 XP. The crafting mission got you 590 XP. The 2 faction missions you did gained you 1,620 XP. Those items alone, which at 45 minutes taken for that would be a long time to do this all, but we're being conservative, puts you at 7,400 XP for this 45-minute route. This is obviously also not including any mobs you kill on the way and other things. To go from level 31 to 32, you need roughly 45,000 XP. So if you can refine this route down to 30 minutes or so, that means every hour you can be gaining roughly 15,000 XP, and thus after 3 hours, level up. Obviously, there will be discrepancy in this math based off what missions you go, your efficiency, your route, the settlement you're in, your settlement rank, blah blah blah. So bear with me on the exactness of the math. I just wanted to prove to you all that there is a method behind this madness. Now you may be asking, what's so special about this idea? It's certainly not the first time in an MMO you line up a bunch of quests together and do them all one fell swoop. The important thing here that differentiates this method and why I wanted to make a video about it to highlight its importance is how the settlement ranks work. As you level up your settlement rank, you can gain increased amount of XP, gathering resources, and everything else like I mentioned before. And that's a huge component of why you want to do this route method in one specific settlement. Whether that's Brightwood, or Windsward, or First Light, or whatever it may be, you want to settle in one of those settlements and focus on that. Typically, this also means you want to make sure that your faction controls that settlement for even more boosts. As you can tell, it's easy to get wrapped up in the system, so don't be afraid to enjoy the other content, and I don't personally recommend living your life off the system. I did this during the closed beta, and while I got into a lot of wars because my level was high and I could do a lot of stuff, I also spent an unhealthy amount of time just grinding these board quests to get high level. That being said, if you want to power level through open beta or launch, this is how you would do it. If you have any questions on what settlements to focus on, where to be, any specific routes I recommend, feel free to ask in the comment section below, as I'd be happy to help. And be sure to like and subscribe. Till next time.